Hello, hello, hello. Hello, everyone. It is Cassandra Terry, your manifesting miracle maker. And today is Mindset Monday. Mindset Monday. It's an important day of the week. It's the beginning of a new week. We're near the beginning of a new month, halfway through the year. And let's just check in and make sure that our mindset is set to serve us, that we have a positive mindset, a growth mindset, that we are focused and flexible on what can be and are not stuck and fixed on believing that things are just the way that they are and we're powerless in how our lives unfold, because that is just not the case. We have more power than we realize, and that's why I like to talk to you guys every day, is making sure that we are tapping into that power and that we are being conscious about how we're using it. We're being conscious about the words that come out of our mouths. We're conscious about our thoughts, and especially those inner thoughts, that automatic messaging that's playing all the time, that we tap into that, and that where it is not serving us, we acknowledge that that's there, and we do the work to start to reframe that messaging so that we can get out of our own way. We can actually have the life that we desire. We can actually tap in and become conscious and in control of where we're going. Hello, Kimberly. And in doing that, we begin to feel that power. We begin to recognize that we're not at the mercy of our emotions. We're not at the mercy of our feelings, that we don't have to live a life that's reactionary. When you're living a life that's reactionary, then everyone else has the control. They do something, and based on what they do, you respond. That's not the life that you want to live, because that doesn't belong to you. The outcome doesn't belong to you. How you're showing up does not belong to you. So we want to tap in and realize that we actually are in control. And the only thing that we really can control is ourselves. And if you get that control, and if you realize that you deserve the life that you desire and that you're capable of creating that life, when you're operating from a place of believing that, you move through the world differently. Your expectations change, your expectations of yourself and for others. You can't control what others do, but you can control how much you're in their space and how much they're in yours. If that individual or that place where you go takes you someplace negatively or makes it difficult for you to enjoy your life, question that. Why are you going there? Why are you spending that time with that person? So it allows you, when you tap in and really hear and know who you are and what it is that you desire, it really changes how you move through the world. And that's an important thing. When negative things come your way, you don't take them in. Someone says something ugly to you, you don't take it in. It happens all the time. Can you imagine how many nasty comments I get being live on 4 or 5 different platforms 5 days a week? But I don't take that in, because first of all, those people don't know me. And secondly, when people take the time out of their day to try and be disruptive or ugly to other people, that speaks to their character, not to mine. So I'm shielded, I'm protected from what's going on around me, because internally I'm locked in and know who I am. I'm not going to be better or worse based on what someone else says. If you have a good opinion of me, I appreciate it, but I can't rely on that for my energy and for my self esteem, because you may change your mind, and then what? So I want you guys to look in the mirror, and looking in the mirror, see someone of value, someone that's important, someone that's deserving, someone that's capable. You deserve love, you deserve comfort, you deserve the life that you desire. But do you believe that? Deep down inside, do you believe that? If you don't beat yourself up. Don't take this opportunity to push yourself even farther down. Just acknowledge it And then get excited for yourself, because now that you know that that messaging is there, that there's some trauma or some bad messaging that's holding you back, once you are aware, that changes everything. It was playing in the background all along, silently controlling you and determining what you do and what you don't do, how you move through the world, what you will try, what you won't, how you feel about yourself and others. That stuff is playing in your head 24/7, 365. The question is, can you hear it? Do you know what it's saying? Do you recognize how it's making you feel? Because once you've got that awareness, now you're in the position to effect some change. You can do something different. You can look at that messaging and go, oh no, this is not working for me. I do deserve better. I am capable. And you can start to rewrite those negative messages and reframe them in a way that you get out of your own way and you start to live the life that you desire. You start to make decisions, choices that support the life that you desire. It's one thing to say you want something, it's another thing to build a plan to get it. And then it's even a better thing to put the energy behind the plan and implement the actions that's going to get you where it is that you want to go. So today we're going to talk for just a little bit, and what we're going to talk about is some activities that you can, that some things that you can try to improve your mindset. So give me a second. Let me pull up my notes. I've got about 10 things, 10 activities that you can use to improve your mindset. And if you spend any time with me whatsoever, I'm sure you've heard some combination of these before. The first one is practicing gratitude. So every Thursday, Thursdays are Thankful Thursday. So every Thursday, we talk about gratitude for the entire broadcast. So we spend a lot of time, a full 45 minutes, 30 minutes, an hour, depending on what we're actually doing with the topic, every Thursday talking about gratitude. Why do we invest that much time? Because gratitude is an immediate game changer. When you are coming from a place of gratitude, your focus is different. You're focused on what you have, not what you don't have. You're focused on solutions, not the problem. And so the things that are going on around you haven't changed. There hasn't been this great shift in the world. There's been a great shift in your mind and how you see the world. And just that shift in and of itself can make a huge difference in your life. When you're focused on what you have, you relax, you feel better, you're grateful, you are more lighthearted, you're less stressed because you're seeing the world from a positive place. The things that you still need to work on are still there. We're not talking about putting on rose colored glasses and just pretending that life is beautiful all the time, that there's nothing ever going to happen wrong. Personally, I do believe that life is beautiful all the time. Even in the midst of difficult times, there's some lesson, there's something that I'm going to get on the other side of that situation. So I know that I've got to keep moving through. I have got to keep putting one foot in front of the other. I don't want to stop in the midst of the storm. I don't want to stop when things are difficult. I have to keep moving forward. And in doing so, when I have the privilege of hindsight, when I have the ability to look back after I've gotten through that difficult time, I'll see what I learned from that situation. Maybe I learned that I'm more resilient than I thought. Maybe I've learned that I'm tougher, that I can do hard things. I can take that and uh, file that away for a future situation. The next time something hard comes up, if nothing else, I can tell myself, I've got through this other hard thing, so I know I can get through this one as well. I'm not inviting the difficulties. I'm not excited that they're there, but I'm going to you keep my mindset focused on how to get out of it instead of just how it's making me feel. Because if I focus on just those negative feelings, those difficulties, then that's all I'm going to see is difficulties. And if all I see is the tough stuff, then I'm not in a position. I'm not anywhere mentally where I can figure out what I should do and what I can do to move forward. So practicing gratitude is huge. I let's see, Brittany R says I totally agree. Thanks, Brittany, for your comment. I appreciate it. LinkedIn user, you're showing. I know you're somebody who follows me all the time just because of your comment. I'm grateful for your daily mindset reminders. So type your name so I know who's watching. It's coming in as LinkedIn user. So our number one of our 10 activities is to practice gratitude. If you can start your day with gratitude, thinking about the things that you're looking forward to in the day, thinking about the things in your life that you're grateful for, you set yourself up mentally to win. And when you're operating from that place, even when the tough stuff comes up, hey, Grace, I was hoping that was you. Even when the tough stuff comes up, you figure out how to move through it and how to gain the lessons from it without holding on to all the baggage and care and dragging that forward with you. Life gets heavy. And sometimes it's heavy because we're dragging 15, 20, 30, 40 years of gunk with us. And every once in a while, you've just got to get rid of all that stuff. Unpack those bags, determine that they're no good from for where you're trying to go, take the lesson from it, and leave all that other stuff behind. Easier said than done. I get that. But that's are your greatest work of your life is figuring out where you're holding yourself back, because when you figure out what's holding you back and you do the work to clean that up, you open up your life for everything else that's waiting for you. You get into a flow and a groove that allows you to accomplish, allows you to enjoy, and you just keep moving forward. And it's so important because each one of us, believe it or not, I believe this with everything in me, every fiber of my being. I was uniquely designed. I didn't just pop up, wasn't just born, wasn't just an oops. The process of how I got here doesn't matter. But the fact that I'm here, I believe with all my being that I'm uniquely designed to feel a purpose. There's a purpose for my life. There's a reason that I'm here. I'm supposed to do something. And in me doing the things that I'm supposed to do, I'm answering prayers. I'm showing a possibility. I'm creating possibility for someone who otherwise didn't have it. That makes me sound pretty important. And I'm not just pumping myself up, fluffing myself up. I believe that for every one of us, you're uniquely designed for something. And when you realize that, you protect yourself differently. You show up differently. You're not going to just accept any old thing from any old body because you realize your value. There is somebody waiting for your story. There's somebody waiting for how you overcame. There's someone waiting for you to step into who you were designed to be. The world is waiting. Does that mean the whole world? Does that mean you're going to have millions of people? Maybe, maybe not. But even if it's your kids, even if it's your nieces and nephews or somebody that has their eyes on you, there is something that you are doing with your life and something that you will do with your life that's going to help somebody else. So if you can't see value any other way, understand that that value lives there. You were born with a purpose, and getting all that baggage and getting through all the things that you got through is what's carving and pressing and creating the you that's here now. What we're going through right now is what's creating the me and the you of the future. And as we're going through that, there's somebody, there's something. The world is getting better because we're bringing forth something that wasn't there before in a way that only you could bring it forth. People worry about, I was saying that my husband was working on getting his real estate license, and one of the responses was, well, is that really a good idea right now? That, the market's so crazy, and I heard that there's so many people out there doing it. It doesn't matter how many people are doing whatever it is that you desire to do, because there's only one you, and you're going to bring your unique way, your unique flavor, your own personal value to that situation. And there's going to be people who can only receive it the way you bring it. There are thousands, hundreds of thousands of real estate agents in the world, but there will be only one of him doing it the way he does it, reaching the people that he reaches. And I encourage you to think about the things that you want to do that way. The person didn't mean anything negative. They actually were just responding and thinking out loud. But joyfully, gratefully, I'm not easily swayed by other people's, immediate thoughts. And I hope you aren't either. Those can easily become dream killers. You're all excited about something and you're putting it out there, and wham, somebody's comment, and now all of a sudden you're second guessing yourself. If you find yourself that way, then just stop and think about your why. Why are you doing it in the first place? Do you feel somehow called to this mission, this job, this career, this whatever it is, to write this book? That calling is internal. And most of the time, you're the only person that hears it. So when everyone around you thinks you're crazy, it's okay. They just don't have the inside scoop that you have. They don't have that message playing in your head. They're not getting that inner voice, that message that's telling you to do this thing. So trust yourself enough to rely on your own intuition, and then be aware enough of where you've come and what you've learned from the situations of your life, and incorporate that learning into everything that you do. So you keep refining, you keep getting better, you keep getting stronger, and you keep moving towards what it is that you're designed to do. So protect your dreams. Protect your dreams, because most people are not able to hear, see, their own fears start popping up. So don't get upset with them. Just realize that that's their stuff. It doesn't belong to you. And you hold on to your dreams, and you begin to create that plan and do what you need to do. Let's see, Chris. How do we do this? Because I'm using StreamYard. Chris is asking to join the call. Let me see. I know if I get to y'all give me just a second. We tried to figure this out before and I failed miserably. There has to be a invite. Give me just 1 second. Let me see what information I need. Okay, Chris, I've just copied the link, and I am going to send it to you on LinkedIn. The rest of you guys, forgive me for the sidebar. Chris, this is not a LinkedIn audio only, Chris, which is why I have the struggle. I'm on all the different forms of social media at once, and using another application to get there. So it makes it a little bit more difficult. But I would love to hear what you have to share. So I am trying to get this to you as quickly as possible. So Chris, do me a favor, drop me a message message me in LinkedIn, because it's not coming up for me, and then I'll drop the link so that you're able to join the StreamYard. All right, thanks. All right, so let me see if I can regather my thoughts here. So the first thing we were talking about was practicing gratitude. We're talking about 10 activities to improve your mindset. The next one is mindful meditation. Hey, Jackie. Hello, everyone who has joined. I see James from Malawi. James following from Malawi, Malawi. I feel geographically ignorant because I don't know where that is. So let me know, James. All right, Chris said he sent the invite link. I don't see a message from you in my LinkedIn, but maybe I just need to refresh. No. There it is. Sent invite link. Sorry, guys, all right. All right. I just put the stream on. Let me. All right. So hopefully I'm not using folks trying to accommodate here. Hopefully you got it, Chris. I put it directly into the LinkedIn message of, so hopefully that works. But let me get back to the conversation. Mindful meditation, engaging in some sort of daily mindfulness or meditation practice will really enhance your self awareness. It reduces stress and it improves your overall well being. So it really can help you kind of create that space so that you can separate yourself from your thoughts and you can begin to not only be a part of your thoughts, but step back and be an observer of your thoughts so you can really tap into what they are and be in a position to change them or reframe them where necessary. So that's a big one. I wanted to subsidize this comment with a few ways that you might practice mindfulness. Breath awareness is just about finding a quiet and comfortable place, closing your eyes, and just bringing the attention to your breath. I like to use let me look at my wall to make sure I get the counts right, a 4-7-8 method. And with the 4-7-8 method, you're breathing in for 4, you're holding at the top of that breath for 7, and then you're inhaling deeply for 8. 4-7-8. Inhale, hold, exhale. And in doing that, I see Chris is here. Hi, Chris. Can you hear me okay? I see you waving, so that's a good sign. You want to say something so I know we can hear you? I see you, but I can't hear you. I'm muting and unmuting your mic to see if that makes a difference. The people who are on LinkedIn, are you guys able to see and hear Chris? I don't know why. I can see your lips moving, Chris, but I don't hear anything. We went to a lot of trouble to get you here, so hopefully technology doesn't let us down, because I always hear you share in the audio rooms, and I know you always have good comments that raise the meetings to even another level. So hopefully we can get there, and I'll be able to hear you as well. Let's see. Nope. Interesting. I don't know why. Oh, wait a minute. It's probably me. I need to add you to the stream. There we go.
And there you go. That's all you got to do.
I had to bring you in. I had you in the waiting room.
That's okay. It's all good.
Hello, everybody. This is I know we're getting a little feedback here. I don't know why that is, but this is Chris Berryman, and Chris and I found each other on LinkedIn in the audio rooms, and we are both in a lot of the same rooms and a lot of the same types of conversations around mindset and goal setting and making sure that you're focused on the end goal and the greater good and not showing up for you and having selfish motives. But when you show up in the right way, when you show up and you're looking to affect change for the greater good and not just for your personal gain, things happen and momentum happens. And before you know it, you've got a group of folks who are working with you. So before I go past into the rest of um, the activities to improve mindset, I wanted to give you a minute, Chris, to share your thoughts. Anything that, because there was something that was saying, "Let me in, Cassandra, let me in." So I'm going to mute, and I want to hear what it is you have to say. And I also want to say to the others, if you're on, I'll put this link in the overall comments as well, so everybody can see it. And if other people want to join and share in the conversation, you will have I'm more than happy to welcome you in. But I'm going to mute now, and let's hear what Chris has to share with us.
Thank you so much, Cassandra. I greatly appreciate being here today. It is Marvelous Monday. It's another great day to be alive and another gift not only to receive, but to give as well. I love the conversation already because I was just in a LinkedIn audio room about creating psychological safety in culture and everything like that. And see, when it comes to mindset, when you really think about it, Cassandra, this is the only question you really should ask. It's not what you do, what you do, what you do. We ask that all day long. But the better question to ask is, who are you? And once you understand that, not only will you become in a better place of being, but you can be able to see what you really want to see. and even believe. And then you can have others really do that very same dynamic with you, because to where if you can really see what they see and believe, and then you allow that to be, and then they turn around and come back and see what you see and believe, and just let that be for what it is versus what it's not, then maybe our mindset can be literally in a state of being, because not only are we intentional with it, but also we come up from a state of flow. We just let things naturally and organically grow from where it really is. And it's not my job to tell people they should do this and they must do that, or in the need of, or in order to, of kind of dynamic. I just say to them, hey, maybe if I can be a guide on this journey with you, and it's not about me, it's about you, and I want to put it on your timetable, not on mine, that creates a different mindset shift like never before seen in human history, because we're allowing that to occur. Because, see, when we get to a place of connection, Cassandra, I truly believe that that connection will turn into collaboration, and that collaboration will turn into community if you allow that to be. Because then you're opening yourself up to a much larger world, to where everyone can have a seat at the table of humanity, and do it in a way that's going to be really proactive, not reactive, really engaging, not disengaging, but you readily wanting to bring everybody together. And that's why I created Bring Humanity Together in the way I have, because I recognize everyone's already there. It's just about creating those opportunities and those engagements that really will prove positive in a way that I can let them be for what they are versus what they're not, and build that bridge to them and with them in such a way that that transformation can occur. But like I said, I'm not in it from just me. I'm in it for them. I'm creating a ripple effect, and if I can do that and do that very well, to maybe those simple things will lead into the greatest impacts in and of itself. Not only we will create the leaders of tomorrow today, but those leaders will create not only more leaders, but they create followers in context. So I love this conversation, Cassandra.
Thank you, Chris. I knew you would bring another level to the conversation, as you always do. I was in that same room and I hung on to the very last moment before I jumped over and started mine. That psychological safety conversation was so good. I have not messaged her Vanguard yet, but that's because I had to jump right over here. I intend to, because being a part of a mission that's designed to create a safe place and to generate the conversations where we learn what that actually means, and we're sharing and collaborating. One of my favorite words that you used. That's why it was important for me to get you here, because these rooms are the video rooms, and it's usually just me talking. The only real engagement I get is when the comments start to come in, and that really lights me up, but it feels so one dimensional. And so I want you all to see that it's possible for you to come and give your comments and jump on with me and have a conversation, just like Chris said, because I don't know all the answers. I don't even know all the questions. But what I do know is what my experience has been. And I'm transparent and open enough to share that, in hopes that somebody will hear something that'll light them up, or encourage them, or give them the motivation to take the next step when they otherwise felt like they couldn't. So that's why I believe that I'm here. I believe that that's why I had the experiences in life that I had. And although some of them were difficult, the one thing that I never lost was my smile, and I never lost hope. And I don't think that that is an individual thing. I think that's divine. I think that's a part of the reason that I was created, because I can squarely look somebody in the eyes and say, you may have come from the humblest of beginnings. You may have been born into difficult situations. You may have been from a small town in Texas where you didn't see where the opportunities may come from. You may have dropped out of college. You may have had kids early. You may have gone through a divorce. You may have dealt with molestation. The list goes on and on and on. And despite any individual or the culmination of any of those things, yet I stand. Right now, yet I sit, smiling, happy, ready to talk to people and encourage you through whatever happens to be your situation. Because as long as we are still taking breath, as long as we still have hope and we believe that we can get through, you're halfway there. If you just believe it, you haven't done anything else but turned on belief and held on to it, hanging on to belief, and you're halfway there. And then you can tap into people who can help you and not tell you what to do and how to do it, like Chris said, but join you in that journey. When you feel tired, kind of hold you up and help you take the next step. Whatever it is that you need, there's a community of people out there, or you're that for somebody else. And that's what I meant earlier. You are the answer to somebody's prayers. You are that for somebody. That's why it's important for you to figure out who you are. What did Chris say? Who am I? Number one, self awareness. When you do that work and you can stand 10 toes down with who you are, the winds blow, the rains come, life happens, but you are who you are. And when you're grounded in that, you grab your umbrella, you hang on to something if the winds are blowing too hard. But you know that you can withstand that storm and get through it. And not only get through it, but then thrive through it and help somebody else along the way. Your life has meaning and purpose just by living it, and living it with purpose, and looking around you and helping other people when they're struggling. But you do have to put the oxygen mask on you first. You cannot pour from an empty cup. So if you're not doing that internal work, if you're not cleaning up and making sure that your mindset, and when you look in the mirror, you see nothing but love, you see nothing but value, you see nothing but possibilities and capabilities. When you get to that place, you're standing there ready and willing, hands open, arms open to affect change and to help who comes beside you. When you're struggling so much yourself and you look in the mirror and you don't see all those things, you're as good as you try. It's very difficult to help somebody else when you don't even know who you are and what you're all about. So that self-awareness is key. It is the beginning to living the life that you desire. You have to know who you are in this world. And then when you know that, then you can start to dream. There's a beauty in dreaming. There's a reason we dream. There's hope in dreaming. That's where you start to see the picture. That's when you start to figure out what it is that you really want out of this life, where you fit into it, and what you want to accomplish with the inhales and exhales, the joy of living. What do you want to do with the life that you've been afforded? You dream and you see what that looks like, and beautiful things come to you. And I did Steve Harvey quite a while ago. It was a big thing on TikTok. He talked about writing down 300 things that you're asking God for. 300 sounds like a ridiculous number. It's like, I'm not that greedy. I don't want that many things. All this junk started floating in my head, but I kept trying. And I started to write. And once you get some of those basic things out of the way that are just important to you, those things that you want, you start to think about the larger world. You start to think about your community. You start to think about other people and how you would like to see that. And you keep, before you know it, you keep adding to that list. I added marriages, people who I knew were struggling, or people who were looking for love that I knew wanted to be in relationship. Their names were added to my lit to my 300 things that I'm asking God for. I added health of friends that I care about, that I know have been struggling with health issues, by name, and what I hoped for their life, what I was asking God for, I added to the list. And what started to happen as I was writing the things that I was aware of and the things that I knew that I wanted for me and for others that I was connected to, other things started to appear to me. I started to see this workshop where we were, all these different types of people with different skills were coming together for a 2 or 3 day workshop, and we were giving and pouring into those folks who showed up. Anything from spiritual growth to financial growth to family and relationship growth. And I just started to write it down as quickly as I could. And I reached out to a couple of trusted friends and told them about it and the role that I thought they might play in it. And it wasn't even on my radar. It wasn't something that I knew I wanted, but it came to me. It appeared to me because I was in a place of connection and meditation and really thinking about the world at large and where I fit in it and what I would like. Let me mute. Go ahead, Chris.
I just had to get some shout outs to some great people already, and I just saw it in the chat. I love what Crystal said about, honey, I am the storm. I love that. But also, I love what Paula did say just a second ago in the comment section when she said, I even said a connection request. I said, let's connect. When she said this, because I saw this, when she said, where was it? Because I just saw it. She said something really good about uplifting others, and I'll find it later after the call. But when she said about uplifting others from Paula, I was just like, that's what it's all about. Because my logo has two people on the side of a mountain, and it says "We rise by lifting others." And when I saw that from, like I said, from Paula, I was like, that is amazing. Because when we allow that to occur, that we understand it's not about me, it's not about it. Well, you know what? It's that quote from Iron Man 2 when Robert Downey Jr. said this, and I know it verbatim, and here it is. It's not about me, it's not about you, it's not about us. It's what we choose to leave behind for future generations. And think about it. Ladies and gentlemen, we're on the precipice of something so much larger than we can't even possibly imagine right here, right now. And yes, Crystal, all the above. It is why embody the phoenix and use my power to lift others up. Yes, the rising of the phoenix really is significant when we let that be. And see, I truly believe we're all sitting at the same table right here, right now. We're at the table of humanity. But the better question to ask each and every single one of ourselves is, how can I help and serve others? How can I do that from a place of understanding, discernment, opportunity, excitement for when you get really so excited about something, that excitement leads to the contagion that is really the power of positivity and the power of possibility. And think about it. You said earlier, Cassandra, about faith, that you just had faith literally there. But think about this, ladies and gentlemen, and I post this to every person here today on this call, and like I said, I can't wait to connect with each and every single one of you and be a part of what we're building here as well at Bringing Humanity Together. But think about this question. When hope and faith come knock on your door, are you willing to answer that call? Who here today is willing to answer that call and go beyond themselves and willing to go beyond what is possible or what they have been deemed to be told for generations? Hey, this can't be done. This can't be achieved. This is the coulda, woulda, shoulda kind of thing. I truly believe when you see what other people see or even believe, you can just let that be for what it is. Because what we truly do from a dynamic, that what we have done for probably generations, is we put those barriers up. We don't allow things to a certain extent to where I can't really see the value of it because I put myself first. But when I let that go and really see where the value truly resides, and it's not about the money, it's not about the prestige, it's not about the position, it's not about those kind of other things, but where the true value there resides, it's about that human value. And that's going to be the next currency of humanity in and of itself, because when people recognize that and it goes to their heart of hearts and they know it and they feel it and it's tangible to them, they don't care about the money. Because when you think about it, Cassandra, money is a natural byproduct, again, when you really think it in context about who we are to a certain degree. That's all it is. Money is another form of energy in tool that we use. But see, like I say, when you go to that very question about asking who are you, everything will be, again, that natural byproduct effect. The growth potential, the thriving potential, the connection potential, the revenue potential. It's all going to be there. But when you allow that to be in your life, and you can say, life is happening for me and not to me, it completely changes your mindset in a state of being like no other time because, again, you're allowing that to occur. What's your thoughts on that, Cassandra?
I agree wholeheartedly, and I really appreciate the comments. And I was watching as you were talking, Crystal and Nancy and others are commenting and connecting. And Crystal said, "In helping others, you help yourself." Absolutely so. Absolutely so. If you want to lift yourself up out of a mood, extend a kindness to somebody else and watch what it does for you. That person may not even say thank you because that's not what it's about. But there is something that's so human and in connecting and helping others that we automatically get. I don't know if it's the endorphins. I don't know what kicks off in our heads, but there's something out of connecting and helping others that is an immediate gratifying, has an immediate effect on us. I see Have a Good Day said, I didn't know we have midday motivation. I thought it was only in the mornings. So just so you guys know, on Mondays, I come on at noon central because early morning I have work commitments. And on Tuesday through Friday, I'm on at 7:15 central because that works better with my work schedule. So most of the days it is morning, but on Mondays we talk about mindset at noon. The other thing that I wanted to say to those of you who are directly in front of me, Facebook, YouTube, and LinkedIn, and even as Chris is talking, you see me doing this. It's not because I have not that I'm not interested in what's going on. I've got a device to my left that has my TikTok going, and I've got a device to my right that has my Instagram going. So I'm on all five, and I'm trying to pay attention and grab the comments and invite engagement in from all of those places. So it's not a lack of interest. It's a little bit of rubbernecking to try and have eye to eye and connect on all those different platforms. So that's the other thing that you see why I look a little rubbernecky most of the time. So we have been on for quite a bit. So Chris, give me just a moment and I want to run through those 10 ways, those 10 things that you can do to improve your mindset. And I won't give as much commentary on each as I have the first two, just in the interest of time. But let's go back. The first one was to practice gratitude. And we've talked about that quite a bit. The second one was mindful meditation. And what I'll do is I've got several different techniques and ways that you can meditate. I'll drop those as a comment so that everybody has those as something that you can take away and figure out which one works for you. But find something, even if it's just sitting still throughout your day, finding a period to just relax, allow your mind to rest and see what comes to you instead of always doing. We miss the opportunity for some of our growth and some of our greatest ideas because we don't often get still and get quiet. So I'll drop those different ways as comments. You bet, Crystal, I certainly will. And then it's setting realistic goals. I talk about SMART goals all the time: specific, measurable, attainable, um, realistic, relevant, and time bound. The not realistic, but yeah, relevant and time bound. But setting realistic goals mean it doesn't have anything to do with how large the goal is, because I personally believe that you can shoot for the moon, but it's super important that you are creating steps and milestones along the way. Otherwise, if you just see this great thing that you want to accomplish out over the horizon, it can be so big and so far away that you get overwhelmed, and sometimes you lose momentum. Hey Colton, thanks for joining. And so setting those milestones along the way does allow you to break down your goals into manageable steps and activities. I've got a goal setting workbook out there. Promise this isn't a commercial, because you can do this for yourself. But I believe in starting with that big dream. And then as you dream, you take those things and you turn them into goals. Here are the goals, and make sure they're smart so that you've got all the elements and you've really thought them out. You're specific about what it is you want. It's measurable. You've got a time frame, all that good stuff. And then you start to break those down, those big goals down. So let's say it's a year out. I'm here today. This is where I'd like to be in a year. A year has 4 quarters. So what am I committing to accomplishing towards that year each quarter? Each quarter has 3 months. What am I going to do? We're July, August, and September. So what am I going to do each month to accomplish what I've set out for the quarter that ties to this bigger annual goal that I have for myself? Each month, 4 to 5 weeks. What am I going to do each of those weeks of the month so that I am breaking it down even farther into actionable steps to accomplish that goal? Each week, 5 work days and the weekend, you decide how many of those days you're going to be working towards your goals and what daily activities you're going to be involved in. What are the things you're going to do each day to move you forward towards that bigger annual goal? When you break them down, how do you eat an elephant? One bite at a time, just like you'd eat anything else. One bite at a time. And if we see our goals that same way and we break them down to those bite-sized pieces, we can accomplish them. We can see ourselves accomplishing them. We have those little celebrations along the way because we are seeing ourselves making progress. So break them down and be willing to daily take those small steps, honor those small steps, celebrate those small steps, understanding that each choice that you make, each step that you take is moving you towards that larger goal. So that's what the goal setting workbook is about, helping you to break down to that level of detail so that you are really, really clear about what, not only what you want, but what you're going to do to get you there. And then you want to surround yourself with positive people. I couldn't wait to get Chris on. I already knew what I was buying before I wrote the check. I knew what I was going to get. I was going to get positivity. I was going to get growth mindset. I was going to get collaboration and community and the greater good. Why wouldn't I want that to show up here today? So I'm surrounding myself. I am fortunate enough that I am building a community. And when I say like-minded people, I do not mean people who think exactly what I think, because you need diversity of thought to really develop good plans. So if everybody is just like you and everybody thinks exactly like you think, you're limited in how innovative and creative you can be. When I say like-minded people, I mean people who care beyond the tip of their nose. I mean people who are interested in the world and making it a better place. People who are looking at themselves and going, what can I do better? How can I improve? Where am I in my own way? So people, that's what I mean by like-minded people. I don't mean I want a little army of people who act and think just like me, because all we're going to do is produce the same thing over and over again. But when somebody shows up with a different point of view or challenging some of the things I'm saying or adding to it, breaking it down in a different way, giving additional input, it enriches it for me and for everybody. That's what Chris did. Chris did not come on and from the Cassandra Bible and just quote what I always say. He brought his own unique point of view, and that enriches the conversation. So that's important too. I just wanted to have a little sidebar there and make sure you understood what I meant when I said like-minded people. All right. So, and then you want to challenge negative thoughts. That is so important. I want you guys to understand that we are not victims of our thoughts, our feelings, our past, our trauma. We don't want to operate from that. We want to hear those thoughts. That's why it's important to tap into that inner voice and to connect with your inner messaging so that you know what it is that's automatically planned in your head. And where you find those negative thoughts, challenge them immediately. So if I make a mistake and I say, oh, I didn't do that quite right, I need to try this instead. That's just a fact. I made a mistake and I need to do something differently so that I don't have the same experience. But if I make a mistake and I'm so stupid, I knew I couldn't do this. I never get anything right. They told me when I was a kid I couldn't do math. You know what? If that's the messaging that's playing, now you're on to something. You've discovered a tape of a message that's playing on autopilot all the time, and you've got to reframe that. I may not be as good as I would like to be at this yet, my favorite three-letter word, but I know people who I can tap into that can help me learn. I can get on YouTube and learn this better. I can. As long as you see the mistake as a mistake and something that you can learn from, you're winning. If you see the mistake as a reflection of you, the person, that's where there's some work that needs to be done. That negative self-talk needs to be acknowledged, and we need to do the work to reframe that, because you are more than your thoughts. You are more than your actions, and you're even more than your reactions. So all of those are things that can be worked on, but you have to give yourself that space and realize that you are more than that. And making mistakes is just opportunities for learning and for growth. And if you see them as anything more than that, or some sort of reflection on you, we need to talk, because we can fix that. That we want to challenge those negative self thoughts and get you into a place where, oh well, that didn't go the way I planned. So what do I need to do differently? What am I learning from this experience? That's completely different than beating yourself up every time something doesn't unfold the way you expected. And then you want to engage in physical activity. It's hard to do. We're in front of computers all day, every day. A lot of us. I work on my laptop. I talk to you guys from my laptop and two other devices. And if I'm not careful, hours have passed and I've been sitting and typing and it will shut the brain down. You will become sluggish. You won't be as responsive. You won't be as creative. It's important to build in mental breaks into every day. My husband, I was saying earlier, is in a real estate class. It's all day, like 8 hours, but every hour they get a 10-minute break, because it's constantly consuming information. That 10 minutes give you a chance to get up, move around, go outside, feel the sun, the wind on your face, whatever, but get some sort of regular exercise going to release those endorphins, because that improves your overall well-being. Engaging in it could be just a walk, it could be yoga, maybe you like a particular sport, whatever it is. Sometimes if I can't go far from my laptop because I need to hear the bing because I'm in the middle of a work day, I've got stairs right outside this door. I may walk up and down my stairs 3 or 4 times. And then that gets the blood flowing and the endorphins going. And now when I come back to my laptop, my brain is fresher. It's been revived a little bit, and I can be a little bit more creative, a little bit more focused. So don't sleep on the value of physical activity. And you also should read inspirational books, or show up on things like this, or find some podcasters that are pouring into you and keeping you inspired. Whatever medium you use, articles, blogs, whatever it is. I call that minding your input. What goes in is all you have to come out. So if all you're watching is all this reality TV and this one's fighting with that one and it's just constant chaos, that's what your brain is taking in. That's all that is in there for you to give out. But you can take time and you can look for, I like quotes. A lot of times I'll start my live with a quote that embodies whatever it is we're going to talk about that day. So I keep them around. If nothing else, I can read. I've got so much positivity on this wall over to my left. I can just look at it. I had my friends quite a while ago text me words that they felt described my personality. And I didn't do just any whiteboard. It's a glass and rose colored, absolutely gorgeous. I could write on it in black and in white. And I've got words like resourceful, resilient, hard worker, fierce, integrity, an anchor, compassionate, ethical. I'm looking at it as I'm talking. My friends poured into me. I didn't know what I was going to get back. I didn't know if I was going to get much back. But even now, when people come into my room and they see it, they go, "Oh, what's that?" And I'll tell them that's the board of me. That's who I am at my core and what I've put out into the world. And that's what they gave back to me. And people will grab a pen and they'll write something else on the wall. And it's just a constant reminder of how I'm showing up, how I want to show up. I can, if I'm being less than that, the words are right there. And it's a great little checks and balances. Are you being an encourager, or are you, sliding in with the gossip of the day? Are you being fierce, or are you being small because you're intimidated by the people in the room? It's right there. It's got my favorite Bible verse on it and my vision boards right above it. So there's just a wall of positivity to keep me going throughout the day. I encourage you to create a space where you encourage yourself. Sometimes the world will not do it. We have to know how to encourage ourselves, and don't feel like it's bragging. Don't feel like you're puffing yourself up. You deserve that. You should be able to look in the mirror and go, look at you. Good job. You got up today. You're still breathing. It's 1 o'clock where I am. I've been on a couple lives of other people, and I'm just about finishing my own. Good job. Spend some time with my husband and my son, encouraging them. Good job. Keep it going. You have to encourage yourself, and you have to see the value in what you're bringing to the world. When you see that, it gives you energy. It keeps you motivated. Be able to do that and be okay doing that for yourself. Practice self compassion. Grace is one of my favorite words. Give yourself grace. The more you give to yourself and the more you practice that, the more you have to give to other people. I choose to believe that we are all doing the best that we can with what we have at the moment, what information we have, and whatever. We are doing the best that we can with that. Sometimes it doesn't show up in the best possible way with me, for me, but if I believe that your intent is good, even if it didn't come off in the best way for me, I choose to believe that your intent is good until you teach me otherwise. But you get the benefit of the doubt here. I believe that we're doing the best that we can. That allows me to be compassionate towards you and to myself. All right, let me mute. I see you, Chris.
And I'm seeing some great responses from everybody, because I actually said something into the chat and everyone's really responded very well. So I see that there's one from a LinkedIn user. I don't know who that is, but anyone that's on this call right here, right now, please send a connection request to me, and I would love for you to be a part of what we're building here, not only with Cassandra, but also what we're doing here at Bringing Humanity Together. I know a lot of people saying, I'm in. Absolutely, I would love to hear that from all of you today. But like I said, for me to really connect with you guys, please send me a connection request. And what I'll do is I'll put in today's comment section, what I'll do is I'll put in my tag. So I'll say let's connect, and that's what I'm going to do. Is I'm going to put that right there. Is I'll put a little thing say let's connect. And also what I'll do is I'll put in the comment section on LinkedIn our community call that we'll have today, and the details will be in there. We'll be going live in about an hour, and so I want everyone to join there. So, like I said, if you see the word Let's Connect in the comment section on LinkedIn, please send me a connection request. And like I said, I would love to get to know who you are and to get you to be a part of our great and growing community, team, and movement that is Bringing Humanity Together. And I'd love to find out what really motivates you and drives you, not only from a place of mindset, but also from a place of really of connectivity and everything like that. So again, when you see and I just posted it, when you see the word Let's Connect, I want everyone to reply to that, saying send in connection request, or even if you already connect with me, send me a message, and I would like to say get you involved in what we're building here. So Cassandra, this is literally almost like a social Saturday event when you really think about it. So a lot of people are getting in, and like I said, this is for everyone, even for you, Cassandra, too, as well. Because I truly believe, like you said earlier, once we start locking arms together and do it from a place of sheer numbers, and that's what even Jessica said earlier in the psychological safety LinkedIn audio, we can do so many great things in and of itself because we can have power in numbers, strength in numbers. and we make it not necessarily about us anymore, but we make it about others, and we rise by lifting others, next thing you know, it's going to create that dynamic effect that where we create legacy, we create purpose, we create meaning, we create significance, we create so many other different things. And when we do it from a place that's about not about the money, not about the fame and prestige, but again, those small things will lead to the biggest impacts in our lives, and we do it from a place of that human value kind of dynamic. Because see, we, like I said, bestow value onto people that's going to really help uplift and inspire them, and it's not necessarily going to be reflective into the bottom line of their paycheck, so to speak, but it's truly about the ROI on their bottom line of where they want to go. That's far better and more far superseding in the even the mindset of money. Because see, at the end of the day, we can have all the money in the world and still be unhappy. We can still have all the money in the world and not be fulfilled. We can still have all the money in the world and not really be connected to people in and of itself. So again, I would like to encourage each and every single one of you, if you have not sent me a connection request, please do. If you already connect with me, please send me a message. Let's set up that meet and greet call. And like I said, the details of today's calls in the comment section on LinkedIn. If you want to join that, please do. I would love to have each and every single one of you on. So again, Cassandra, great call today. Thank you so much for allowing me to be here today. I send it over to you, and thank you for your time today, Cassandra. I greatly appreciate you.
I am looking forward to your event, Chris. Fortunately for me, I'm off work today, and tomorrow's a U.S. holiday, so I took the day as well to make it a nice long weekend. So I have today to pour in to me as well as to connect and hopefully pour into others. So I'm looking forward to your event. We are down to the last couple of items on the 10 activities to improve mindset. Number 8 is what we just covered, practicing self-compassion. And then number 9 is cultivating a growth mindset. We did a whole live on that yesterday. And I actually have an event room, an audio room on LinkedIn this evening at 6 p.m. Central with Eni Osang. And we will be talking about mindset and how a positive mindset can affect you spiritually, financially, mentally, your self-esteem. So mindset permeates our entire being. So whether or not we've got it together in that space, to me, is the work of our lives, because it positions us for everything else that we want to do. So a growth mindset means that you see the possibilities, that you're not afraid to try something. You're not bound by the possibility of failure. Not even a word that I like. I either learn or I either win or I learn. So when things don't go the way that I expected them to go, then there's an opportunity for me to learn. But when you have a growth mindset, yet is a big part of your vocabulary. I may not know it yet, but there's an opportunity, and I have the ability to learn it. Where when you have a fixed mindset, I'm good at math or I'm not, I'm a good writer or I'm not. Oh, I just snap. I just have one of those short personalities. A lot of people say I'm just direct. And we've taken the word direct and used that as a excuse to be rude and to mistreat people emotionally. We can have a direct conversation and we can still be kind and come from a place of humanity and kindness. So we have to think about, really think about when we say who we are, what do we really mean by that? And having a growth mindset, it's a world of possibilities. And so you guys can join us this evening at 6 p.m. Central, and we'll talk about fostering a growth mindset and being resilient. And then the last thing is engage in creative activities. They're relaxing. They can boost your mood. They encourage you to be positive and help channel your energy. It may be journaling. Some people like to paint. Some people, I was a part of a writing group, and we just put pen to paper and just went. There was no structure to it. There was no capitalization and punctuation and anything like that. But it was just pouring out what was going through our minds on paper and getting comfortable with just writing. And then you can go back and look at it and you'd be surprised at what you can structure and what came out of kind of those brain dump situations. But I like to do puzzles and game and things that are brain challenging to figure out. So just find out what works for you and find some creative outlets. My mother is a singer, so she's gonna sing. There I've got a lot of athletes and dancers in my family, so we see all kinds of creativity around us all the time. I told myself forever I'm not creative. I have always felt that way about myself until I showed up and realized I'm being creative in just the different ways that I give the same information over and over again each week. We look at it from different points of view. I've written a couple of books. I've done some things that didn't align with that negative self-talk that I had going on in my head. But I have a family who has some really artistic people in that can really draw. I have a hard time coloring within the lines, and I just figured out over time that that's not a negative. So not seeing those lines can help you get to some places where that other people might not even realize are there. My mother and my sister sing beautifully. I can barely hold the tune in a bucket, as my grandma used to say. So I was comparing myself to other people, and in my mind coming up short. Comparison is just a thief. Don't do it. Find your lane. Find what you enjoy. My husband says all the time, I can't sing, but you can't beat me trying. And we turn the music up and we sing in tune, out of tune, somewhere in between the tune. Doesn't matter, because we're enjoying ourselves and we're connecting and we're having a good time. It's not always about that finished product, but it's about the experience. So find your creative outlet and what works for you. That also gives the brain an opportunity to relax and to recharge and set you up for being in the right mindset when you get back into that, whatever it is that you're working on. So engaging in these activities can help you relax. They boost your mood and they encourage a positive mindset, because you're channeling your energy into something that's positive and fulfilling and relaxing. So that's it. It's been a long call today. We've had the enrichment that's been provided not only by Chris visually and audio here, but you guys have shared some wonderful comments, and I see the connections going on. Yeah, Crystal said, AKA imposter syndrome. I talk about that a lot, Crystal, in my in the every other week with Annie. Absolutely. So thank you guys so much. Let me mute Chris, and I'll give you a chance to wrap up, and then I'll do the final wrap up, and we'll call it a day.
Thank you so much, Cassandra. And again, I'm so humbled and honored to even be here with each and every single one of you today. And again, just want to let everyone know we always have these calls every Monday. But also, I just want to put the shout out to everyone today for connecting with me. I'm so humbled and honored by that. But also, this is not an event that we have just randomly. Like I said, this is every Monday that we do and everything like that. But we also have another event coming up this Thursday at 3 p.m. via Google Meet. It's going to be part 2 in our conversation that we had last week about going beyond the paycheck. And this one is going to be going beyond the paycheck to leadership edition. So we're talking things from a place of leadership and everything like that. If you'd like to want to be a part of that call, send me a message and I will give you the link to that as well.
And we also have the time zone.
It's always on Eastern Standard Time, which is Eastern Daylight Time right now. So that's where we're at. So it's always going to be on Eastern Daylight Time. So the details will be in the link that I send you and everything like that. So I will just, like I said, I'm just so humbled and honored. I'm actually blown away by this in and of itself, Cassandra. That's the whole part of literally connecting with people, because you can just really meet people from all over the world. So again, I'm so humbled and honored. Like I said, I'd like to see everyone there today on our meet and greet community call. And like I said, let's do this. And I greatly appreciate it. I got to get ready for the call. But I appreciate it, Cassandra. I appreciate you so much. And we'll not only bring that humanity together, ladies and gentlemen, let's truly bring that humanity into business and beyond, because the one thing that interconnects us all is our very humanity. Looking forward to speaking and collaborating with you guys very soon. Have a great day, everyone.
All right. Thank you, Chris. And thanks everybody for sticking with us. We had a nice long call today. We're almost at an hour and 10 minutes. And some of you guys have been here the entire time. Chris joining was impromptu. He joined from LinkedIn and asked me if he could join the live. You all can do that as well if you're interested in sharing your thoughts when I'm live. We figured out how to get you on video and let you participate right along beside me. If any of you know in advance, because Mondays we talk about mindset, Tuesdays is transformation, Wake Up Wednesdays we talk about being intentional, Thursdays or Thankful Thursday we talk about gratitude, and Fridays we talk about focus. And we look at all of those things as a state of being, as well as tools to help you accomplish the life that you would like to live. So if any of those resonate with you and you want to get with me in advance and about being on with me, just reach out, DM me, and we can talk and figure out how to get you on, just like Chris did today. I feel like it enhanced the conversation, brought in an additional point of view, and I love that. I mentioned that I will be on LinkedIn Audio tonight at 6 p.m. Central, where we will talk about mindset as well, and how it kind of permeates our lives and it affects us from the different points of view. So feel free to join in for that this evening. And I'll be on Chris's live in about 45 minutes or so. So thank you all. I'll be back tomorrow morning at 7:15 Central. Tomorrow's Tuesday, right? Yes. So tomorrow will be Transformation Tuesday. It's a holiday in the US, but I will likely go live anyway because I'm off and enjoying, and hopefully the husband will be getting the barbecue pit ready. So I'll have some time to talk to you guys. So I will see y'all tomorrow morning at 7:15 for Transformation Tuesday. All right, you guys have a wonderful rest of your day. Check in with yourself, check the mindset. If you hear any of those negative messages, challenge them right here, right now, reframe them, and get back to what it is that you're doing, charged and ready to have a successful day. All right. Bye, guys. Thank you so much.